Hey everyone, it's Roush coming at you. I pray that this message finds you doing well. I pray that you've had a good week. I'm sure the week had some trials, right? Maybe some tribulations in it. But Saturday is the end of the week, and tomorrow when you wake up is a new beginning, right? Another new week, and it's why Sunday is important for the Christian, because it is the first day of the week where you kind of reset, refocus, and remember why you live and why you're alive and what's your purpose in life and what should you be doing with your life. I wanted to give you a scripture, 1 Peter 3, verse 15. It says this: "But in your hearts honor Christ as Lord, as holy. Always be prepared to make a defense to anyone who asks you for the reason for the hope that is in you. Yet do it with gentleness and respect." Something happen this week. I was out on the front porch hanging out with my daughter Ruby. We were just out there talking, letting the dogs use the restroom, and we heard this motorcycle coming, and it came by, and we just kind of gave the nod of, "Hey, what's going on, bud?" And it drove by, but it didn't make it too far from the house, and it quit. And Ruby's like, "Dad, what's going on? Are these people trespassing?" Because we've had some issues with trespassers out here on our land. But I said, "No, I don't think so, Ruby." I said, maybe they ran out of gas or something. But anyway, over the next 10 minutes, we would hear the individual kind of fire up the motorcycle, and then it sounds like he was trying to move and he couldn't. So eventually, we heard him coasting down the road, and he coasted into the front yard. And he said, "Hey, bud, you care if I leave my motorcycle here? I gotta go get some tools to work on it." And I said, "Well, what do you need?" And he told me what he needed. And I was like, "Well, I have that. So just give me a second." And so anyway, I ended up sitting in the front yard, helping this individual put his chain back on the sprocket of his motorcycle. So we had to work on the back tire, move some things around, and so anyway, we started talking to the individual and getting to know him and who he is and where he's from and who his family is and who it is he's visiting in the neighborhood. It turned out to be a wonderful discussion. And the reason I shared with you 1 Peter 3:15, because it says, be ready to give an answer, or be ready to make a defense for the hope that you have. Like I believe in God. I don't question his existence anymore. There's too much evidence out there for me. I've looked at a lot of different arguments about God, and I'm settled that God exists and he's real. And heaven is a place that's waiting for me, so I'm going to live for him every single day of my life and be ready to meet him. So, but the Bible encourages me to be ready to make that defense. So the reason that I'm a Christian and the hope that I have, am I ready to share that? So what happened in this conversation with this individual was we ended up somehow making this circle and being able to talk about God, being able to talk about church. And I invited him to church, and he says that he misses church and he wished he would get back into it. So I invited him, and I said, also, you see me out, stop anytime. I'm always willing to talk about God with anybody who wants to hear. And it just made me think, how many of us have people coming into our lives, or maybe we're running into people out in public and having these small conversations, and then we just leave the conversation and we're like, man, I wish I would have said this, or I wish I would have shared my faith a little bit more with them. And I just want to encourage you that don't be ashamed to share your faith. But remember 1 Peter 3:15. Be ready to give an answer. So you need to be able to know a little bit about the Bible and about the faith that you have. Why do you have the faith? But the last part of that, it says, do it with gentleness and respect. Like, don't force the discussion about your faith. Don't force it. You want to season your discussion, right? Like a little salt and pepper on a good steak, right? Just season it to entice or have a little bit more flavor. That's what you want to do when you're in a discussion with somebody out in public or in your front lawn. You want to encourage them. You want them to be a believer. You want them to give their life to Christ. But sometimes what somebody may need is not for you to save them at the moment. They just need you to point. point them in a direction so that they can begin their search and begin seeking for Christ, and what does it mean to have a relationship. So sometimes people just need a direction. So be ready to defend your faith. Be ready to share it, and you ready yourself by reading the Bible, by searching out the evidence for God. Be ready to give an answer, okay? But never forget how to do that, and you do it with gentleness and respect. You want people to open the door of communication to you, not slam it shut. So be careful how you speak to people. Listen to them. Listen to what they're saying, and then drop in your faith. Give them a little seasoning of your faith. But remember that God is putting people in your life so that you can encourage them and also point them in the right direction to find Him. So never miss your opportunity to defend your faith and to encourage somebody about Jesus Christ. So hang in there, keep fighting the fight, and we'll see you all soon. God bless you.